welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Feel It, Fix It, Free It. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited that you guys are here. It is amazing to be here. I'm just so psyched. Welcome to our first workshop of 2026. And guys, this one's going to be incredible. I'm so excited to have you. I hope that if you are watching this live, stay engaged during the chat. And if you are watching the replay, I want to see you guys. I want to hear from you because this is for you. Welcome to our VEA workshop, our first one. Feel it, fix it, free it. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so glad you're here. So, how are we feeling? Are we feeling good? Are we ready to learn something? Huh? Okay. That's what I like to hear. Now, I hope you guys are hearing everything okay. We have a lot to do today. I want you to get your notes out. I want you to, pay attention to what's going on because we are going to have a time, okay? Whoa. What's going on, Justin? I see you there. Welcome. Okay, so let's get going, all right? So I want to start by saying this plainly, all right? This workshop is not about doing more with your voice, okay? It's about doing what actually matters. So over the years, I've watched singers do all the right things, okay? So they're warming up, they're running exercises, they're putting in the time, and they still feel unsure or unready, right, when it's time to sing. And what I realize is this: the issue usually isn't effort, it's awareness, right? So most singers haven't been taught how to listen to their voice in a practical way, right? How to recognize what's happening in the body or how to make, small adjustments that change everything. And as we go through this, if something clicks for you or if you recognize yourself in what I'm describing, I want you to feel free to drop it in the comments. And if you're watching this later on, please add your thoughts to the discussion as well, because, whatever you put in, somebody else is going to read that and it's going to help them too. You don't have to say anything, but sometimes naming what's the issue, that helps it to stick. Huh? Okay, so this workshop is built around one simple idea. If you can feel what's happening, understand how to fix it, and let the voice respond naturally, singing stops feeling like a fight. Huh? And that's what Feel It, Fix It, Free It is all about. So we're going to dive in right now. Now, here's where I want to slow us down just for a moment, because when singers talk about warming up, the frustration usually sounds like this. Okay, ready? Well, I did warm up, but I still don't feel ready. Uh-huh. And that's an important sentence because what it tells me is something very specific. It's telling me that the issue isn't effort. So I'm not sure if you felt this before, right? Where you warmed up, you did what you thought, but it still didn't work, right? It's it's not about the effort. It's that effort isn't connected to what the voice actually needs. Right. So a lot of us were taught, if we were lucky enough to even be taught, that warming up just means, running through exercises. So we do the thing, we check the box, and we assume the voice should cooperate. But when it doesn't, we don't really know why. And that's where the confusion comes from, right? It's not because you didn't try, but it's more along the lines because no one taught you how to tell what your voice was responding to. So once you don't have language for what you're feeling, everything after that becomes guesswork. And that's what we're about to fix. Okay. And we're not going to do it by adding a whole bunch of new exercises, but we're going to learn how to pay attention first. Are you following me? You following me? Okay, good. Let's just keep it going. So Let's talk about how most of us were taught to warm up. So I kind of said this before, but what we usually do is we find a routine. So how many of you have, gone on YouTube and found a video, to play, and that's their warm up because this person said it's good, or they found a playlist. I can tell you that was absolutely me. I was, back in the day, I have a few playlists, and they're good. I would find something, and usually I'm guessing this is what you do too. You find something that worked once, and you just keep doing it. hmm And here's the thing: routines aren't bad. The problem is when routines replace the awareness. Uh, Okay, think of it like this. Think about it like this. I want you to think about athletes for a second, right? So if an athlete shows up and their leg feels tight, they don't say, well, my routine says that I have to do arms today, so I'll just do that, right? They don't do that. They pay attention and then they adjust. So they warm up what needs attention that day. Get it? But singers, unfortunately, don't usually do that. What do? We warm up the same way, whether our voice feels great, tired, tight, airy, or heavy, right? And then we're surprised when the voice doesn't respond the way we want it to. So if you've ever had like a go-to warm-up that worked one day and then completely missed the mark another day, you're not alone. And if that's you, I would love for you. Drop a quick thought like or an emoji in the comments if that's been your experience. If you've experienced that, I'd love to hear it. Um, so the issue isn't that singers warm up wrong because they're careless. That's not what's happening, right? If you didn't care, you wouldn't warm up at all. It's that we were never taught how to warm up responsively. I didn't say responsibly. I said responsively. hmm And over time, that's when singers stop trusting their voice, right? Because they're following a routine instead of responding to themselves. And most of the time, people don't even think about it like that, right? They're just like, oh well, this is my warm up, and oh, my voice is doing X, Y, or Z. But we've kind of fallen into this thing of I do this, and then hopefully my voice goes better, and you don't even trust yourself, trust your voice to be able to diagnose, hey, this is what's happening, you know. And the problem is once you don't know how to adjust, the routine becomes the rule instead of the voice. hmm are you following me? You picking up what I'm putting down? All right, all right. Let's keep it moving. So now I want to talk about something that doesn't get said out loud very often. hmm A lot of singers don't warm up regularly. And it's not because they don't care about their voice. What I found is that most people most people skip warm-ups for a few like really human reasons, right? Like sometimes it feels like it's going to take too long, or sometimes you're not even sure what you're warming up. And sometimes life just happens. You get busy, you get distracted, and you get pulled in different directions. Huh? Or am I talking? I know who I'm talking to because I work with creatives. I know exactly what you're doing. Okay. And then what happens is the only time that warm-ups become a non-negotiable is on big days, right? So if you're performing or you're having a high pressure moment, and that's when singers suddenly try to figure out how their voice works, and they're like, and they're like hoping. I know I'm talking to you. I know I'm in your business, right? And I'm gonna tell you like this: that's a very tough place to learn from. So if you've ever skipped a warm up because you didn't know where to start or because it felt overwhelming, you are definitely not alone. Okay? You can even write that in the comments. Just write same. That's me. Same. So just to conclude that thought, the problem really isn't motivation. It's that warm-ups haven't felt useful enough to earn a place in your day. And so once something feels unclear or unreliable, it's kind of easy to avoid it altogether. But wouldn't it be great if there was just some sort of course that would just teach me how to warm up like a pro. Oh, oh, that's right. You're in it. Welcome to Feel It, Fix It, Free It. Huh? So if warming up isn't really the problem and routines aren't the real solution, then what's actually missing? It's this skill right here. Okay. So most singers were never taught how to listen to their voice in a practical way. And I don't mean listening like, do I like how I sound? Right? I mean listening for information. Information like, does this feel easy or effortful? Does the sound respond right away or does it hesitate? Or does something feel locked, heavy, airy, or unstable? hmm So when you don't have language for those sensations, everything turns into guesswork. And so you end up chasing sound instead of responding to coordination. So listening to your voice doesn't make things more complicated. It actually simplifies everything because once you can recognize what's happening, you don't need 100 exercises. You just need the right one. Uh-huh. And that's the shift we're making here. So we're going to go from warming up everything to warming up what's actually missing. Whoo! Wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, I think you could probably cut your warm up time in half, maybe a third, But that's what happens when you are intentional. That creates a huge difference, huh? Okay, so moving right along. Take a look at this. So once you start learning how to listen to your voice, something really interesting happens. And you realize there's actually a very simple order to this. So look at the slide. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So first, you feel what's happening. All right, not what you think should be happening. What your voice is actually telling you in the moment. Then you fix it. And when I say fix it, I don't mean forcing the sound, right? I don't mean, oh, it's not feeling good. I'll just use more force. Like, don't do that. No, 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 no. I mean, you're going to make a small physical adjustment, your breath, your coordination, your placement. You're going to make this adjustment that gives the voice what it needs. And when that's right, the voice gets free. So that means, what does it mean? It means you're not pushing, you're not guessing, you're actually responding. So this isn't about like getting it perfect. It's about getting it in order. So like when you skip the first step, you guess, right? So if you skip feeling, then you guess. And then when you rush into fixing, you compensate. And then if you ignore this kind of freeing step, then you're overworking, right? In other words, if you ignore the fact that, okay, well, now we've got it going, but you're not recognizing that that particular thing is fixed, you keep doing it over and over again, and guess what? That actually overworks the voice. So imagine warming up and then wearing out your voice out in a warm up. No, like, and I'm sure this has happened before where you did a warm up and your voice is tired. Like, that wasn't helpful. But when you move in this order, feel it, fix it, free it, warming up stops feeling chaotic, and it starts to feel intentional. Yay. Okay. So, before we start fixing anything, I want us to do something together. Okay. Not to judge your voice. We're not going to label it as good as bad right now. We just want to notice. So this is going to feel like a little eye-opening for a few of you. And if you're watching live, I'm excited for you to do this in real time. And if you're watching the replay, I need you to lock in right here because the goal isn't to sound amazing here. The goal is to give your voice a chance to tell the truth. So what we're about to do requires a few things. It's going to require a steady sound, clean onset. So when you're singing, your voice is showing up immediately. It's going to need a little bit of movement. It's going to need some breath regulation. And for a lot of singers, this is where something usually gives. And that doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just tells us where to focus. And I want you to know this. If something feels off, that's actually good information because it means your voice is talking to you. And the fact that you can notice it means you're already doing this right. All right. So as you do this, don't try to like fix anything. I don't want you to adjust. I don't want you to compensate. I want you to observe. All right. And I want you to pay attention to where it feels easy, where it feels effortful, and where it feels unstable or unclear. Okay. And if you notice something right away, you don't have to like explain it perfectly or things like that. Okay. You can always, we'll get to it. I promise we'll get to it. But right now, I'm going to stop sharing this screen and we are going to sing a song together. And we're going to sing a song that everybody should know. And if you don't know it, it's totally okay. If you don't know it, you're about to learn it right now because we are going to sing the hit by Benny King, right? Stand by Me. Okay. And so let me play this. Okay. And I've got the lyrics here. But I want you to give it a go and let's see how it goes. Oh, I want to make sure you can hear it. Hold on. I don't think it's playing for you. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to re-share this thing. Hold on. One moment. There we go. All right, let's go. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay. Hopefully it's not like doubled or anything like that. If it is, I'm sorry. I'll fix it in the video. But here we go.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see.
Let me know if you're having any trouble hearing it, okay? Put in the comments.
No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me.
Here we go. Big one.
So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
Oh, stand.
Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
I love that song. Don't you love that song? Anyway, I hope you were able to hear it. And if not, don't worry. In the replay, I'll have it like playing really clean, just in case. All right. So one moment. Let me get back to my presentation for you here. And let me just fix how I look. Let's do it like this. Okay. So again, I want you to observe. Did you notice anything? Did you notice, oh, you know what? That really wasn't hitting the way I thought it was going to hit. Or man, I thought that was going to be cleaner and it wasn't clean or whatever. All right. And if you feel it, if you feel something, you can type a quick word like tight or airy or heavy or unstable, and if you're watching this later, add it to the discussion. Sound good? Okay. So we're going to keep it going. We're going to do it like this. So fantastic. So based on what you just noticed in this diagnostic, I want to show you something. So these are the most common things I hear singers describe across levels, styles, and experience. Okay, you can see them here. Won't lock in, sound is stuck, weaker airy, flips or all that stuff, or the voice feels heavy. And what's important here is like, oh, not clean, timing behind. Okay, these are, yeah, I'm seeing the comments here. This is good. You're noticing these things. What's important here, if we're looking at these things, it won't lock in, the sound is stuck, weak or airy, flips or grabs, feels heavy. Those aren't technical labels, right? This is real language. And this is how singers actually experience their voice, you know? So sometimes the problem is like you go to a vocal coach and you're like, what's going on? Blah, 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 because it feels and you're or you go to somebody else, maybe they're not even a professional, and you're trying to understand what's happening to your voice. And you're not getting the feedback that you need, right? Because you don't know how to explain it to them. And then you don't know the technical terms. I get that all the time when I'm having somebody sing for me for the first time. They're like, well, I don't know the technical term, but it feels like this, it feels like that. Well, that's language. And some of you notice that the sound won't quite, for example, some of the notice that the sound won't quite lock in, right? So it cracks and it feels unstable, or it won't settle. Okay, good. Like that's language. Um, some of you feel like the sound is stuck, right? Like it's living in the back of your throat and it won't come forward. Uh, some voices feel weak or airy, right? Like the note's there, but it doesn't have any energy behind it. Mhm. Or, or others feel like okay on single notes, but the moment you start moving, so you went, so darling, darling, right? Stand. Like the moment that you start moving, the voice flips, or it grabs, or it disconnects. And then some voices just feel heavy, right? Like slow or pressured, like everything takes more effort than it should. So here's what I want you to hear very clearly. These are not flaws. Okay? These are not problems with your voice. They're your voice telling you what it needs. Okay? So if one of these stood out to you more than the others, you can just drop a number or a keyword in the comments. I'd love to know, like, between like won't lock, like number one won't lock in, number two sound stuck. I'd love to hear it or see it, or at least take a note of it for yourself if you're watching the replay, because that awareness is going to guide everything we do next. All right. Now, we're not going to try to fix all of these today. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on what's missing for you and give your voice exactly what it needs to respond. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be so great. Now, we're about to jump in, but before we move on, I want to clear something up because this matters. You are absolutely allowed to use this whole set, okay, as a warm-up routine if you want to. Okay? Yeah, because if I'm being honest, like most of my students have been begging me for a warm-up routine, and I've always kind of like held back a little bit from it, only because sometimes I didn't know like exactly what to give them as far as like a full routine, because it differs. It depends. It depends. Like, what is the need? And so instead, we would like work on certain things, and I would just give them like a playlist if they just wanted that. But you can use this as a full vocal work warm up routine, and I'm going to give it to you step by step in a way that makes the most sense. All right, because these exercises are fun, they're effective, they're intentionally paced in an order that makes sense, and each one builds on the last. So if you want to run the whole thing as a warm up, especially on like a day when you've got time, that's totally fine. As long as you're not overworking your voice. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the process. And today, we're going to do all the fixes together. Okay? So that's going to be part of the experience. But the long-term goal, ready, isn't that you need all of this every single time. The goal is that you get so tuned into your voice that you can feel what's off, apply a couple targeted exercises, and walk away feeling solid. Yeah, because you know what that is? That's called vocal maturity. Right? You don't have to eat the whole buffet if you know what's going on, right? So think of this in two ways. You can run the whole thing and enjoy it, or you can use pieces of it and be efficient. Okay, both are valid. But what matters is that you're choosing instead of guessing. Yeah? All right, guys, it's time to dive right in. So let's talk about our first issue here. Okay. And we're going to talk about when the voice won't lock in, when there's cracks, when there's instability, when it's inconsistent, like your tone is messed up. So let's start with that first issue. This usually shows up right at the start of the sound. So, like, you go to sing a note and it cracks or it wobbles. Hit the sky, hit the sky that we look upon. Or it takes a second before the sound settles. That we look upon. All right. Or sometimes you get the note, but it doesn't feel secure. Like you have to like set it up before it plays. Like, for example, have you ever like gotten ready to sing a song and you felt like you had to like in the night, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Where you have that like that weird awkward pause because you're not sure how it's gonna come out. The moment you open your mouth. All right. If this is happening, you'll probably notice that the beginning of the note feels unreliable. Okay. And the tone feels fragile for a moment, or you have to brace just to get a clean sound. And this is almost always what we call an onset issue. Okay. And what that means is that the vocal folds, all right, the vocal folds, because you have these in your vocals, okay, they're not coordinating cleanly at the start. So they're either coming together too slowly or they're not meeting evenly yet. So in order to like make good sound, your vocal folds need to come and meet evenly, and then they vibrate and get you a really good sound. But sometimes if there's air or if they're not like meeting cleanly, then you get like an airiness or you get instability because they're not meeting evenly. So the sound doesn't fully organize right away, and it takes a moment to get everything like in sync. So we're not going to force the sound, okay? We're not going to sing louder. We're just going to help the voice coordinate the start of the note, right? So once that's clear, everything else gets easier. Okay. And so now that we know what the issue feels like, let's fix it. So when the voice won't lock in, the goal is really simple. We want the folds to meet cleanly at the start of the sound, right? We don't need it harder or louder, just cleaner. So for a clean onset, 3 things need to line up. The breath has to be ready. The folds have to meet on time. And the vowel cannot be vague. And what I mean by that is that you can't, it's an E, an A, an I, an O, or an U. Okay? Because when any of those is late or lazy, you get cracks and instability. So we're going to use this exercise. The name of the exercise is called Cracksware, right? Because we're not doing cracks. We don't do cracks here. And this is going to use some short pulsing vowels to teach the voice how to commit to the sound. Okay, so we're not holding notes, we're not climbing range too high or anything. We're just telling the voice, okay, meet right here and then do it again. Okay, because those quick starts kind of train clarity without like getting all that pressure. And as you do this, I want you to notice, like, okay, does the sound start immediately? Does it feel clean without effort? Or does my throat stay relaxed? Okay. And if it cracks, that's information. You're not failure. You just reset and you'll go again. So we're going to try Cracksware. So I'm going to teach it to you. All right. Now, of course, you're not going to like have it down the first time, but it does repeat enough. And I sing throughout the entire thing so you'll be able to catch it. But I'm going to give you a little preview and then we're going to try it together. Okay. So we're going to go like this. E, E, A, ah. Try that. E, E, A, ah. Okay, and now we're gonna go whoa, oh, ooh, ah. Okay, whoa, oh, ooh, ah. All right, so again, it's gonna go e, ah. Whoa, oh, ooh, ah. Okay, you got it? So let's give it a go. This is Cracksware. All right, everyone, it's time for our next exercise. Keep those vowels and that breath connected. Ready we go. Let's go. Here we go. Keep it going. Come on. Short pulses. Keep it clean. We're going to take it up. Let's go. Take it up again. Here we go. And again. And this is the last one. Keep clean. Woo! Amazing job. That voice should be feeling real connected. I'll catch you in the next exercise. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Wasn't that fun? How do you feel? Was that fun? Did you have a good time with that one? I'm gonna tell you right now, every single one of these is like crazy fun and like this. Like, so get ready, get ready. All right, fantastic. So that should be feeling a little bit better. So that was our fix it, right? We tracked the cracks. All right. So what should it feel like now? So after that exercise, your voice should feel different. Not bigger, not louder, just clearer. So I want you to try to notice this. I want you to check in with these three things. Does the sound start right away? So if you could go, hey, good morning, or hey, hey, is it hey, or is it hey? Is it coming in clean now? All right. Does the sound start right away? Does the note feel more stable? Do you feel less need to prepare before you sing? Okay. If the answer is yes, that means the onset just organized itself. So just try to sing something, oh, I want to dance with somebody, try something like that. I want to feel the heat without like all this big setup or no breathy lead. And I don't, no, just go for it. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. So if it's coming out clean and easy, that's your sign. That's what's locked in feels like. And once that's there, everything else we do today is going to get easier. Now, if it still feels unstable, that just tells us that this is an area that we're going to revisit. It's not something to push past. I know some of you hear that and you're like, oh, it's not exactly perfect. And you want to like redo it and get it perfect. And that's normal. But for today, we're going to move on. Okay, because you're going to have time to come back to this later because you're in the VEA and you get to go after this all as much as you want. And you're going to get a whole playlist of all these exercises afterwards. Ooh. Okay, so let's go to the next issue. Okay, we're moving right along. Let's talk about when the sound feels stuck in the throat. All right, especially in the back of the throat. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the note is there, but it feels buried. Right? Like it's not coming out the way you want. So even though you have this onset, it feels like it's back here. And if this is happening, you'll usually notice the sound feels like covered or muffled, and you have trouble projecting without pushing, or it feels like the voice is sitting too far back. I want to check one thing for us really quick. You know what? I think I just skipped one. I skipped a fix here for you. Give me one quick moment. I want to double check one thing for you. One moment. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, okay. We are missing one here. So this is great. There's an extra area, there's an extra fix that I want to do before I get into this issue. So forgive me. We're going to take it back for a moment. And I want to stay here because there is in this freeing it. Yeah, see, I almost jumped in and I was like, wait a minute, I think I forgot an issue. So we've got we did the cracks, right? We took care of the cracks in the voice. But another issue that we end up with sometimes is you need to be able to connect that. Now that the voice is like connected, you need to be able to at least lightly move up and down these registers and up and down through the voice with, without these cracks. So we connected them, but the next thing we need to do is move with them and release any pressure that we might be feeling with them. And so in order to do that, the best way to release pressure is with something called an SOVT exercise. Most of you guys kind of know that. If not, it's called a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. And what that does is it makes it easier for you to warm up the voice, because it's basically the mouth is partially closed. All right, so the best one that we usually do is a lip roll, right? So the mouth is partially closed, and when you're doing that lip roll, there's back pressure that's touching the back of the throat, and these what's it called? These vocal folds, and they're making them stretch, and they're making them get looser and more pliable, and it makes it a little bit easier for you to move back and forth and to release these notes and make them easier for you to do. Are you following me? So what we're going to do is we're going to do some lip rolls, right? And then we're going to lip roll right into the vowel. Okay, so this is how it's going to go, and I'm going to do a lip roll, but I'm going to do the tone. So we're going to go da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right, but it's going to be on a lip roll. And then we're going to do some vowels. We're going to go E-A-E-I-E-O. Okay, I'm going to say that again. E-A-E-I-E-O. Try that. E-A-E-I-E-O. Right? I'm actually putting in I actually typed a message in the chat for everyone too. Okay? So E-A-E-I-E-O. All right, so that's how we do it. So we're going to give that a go. This exercise is called lip roll on the plains, okay? When you do this, I want you to keep it light, and I want you to make sure that those vowels are not, you should feel a lot freer now because we eliminated these cracks. So let's give it a go. Hold on 1 second. I realize I need to open this. There we go. Here we go. Time for our next exercise. Keep those lip rolls light and glide directly into your vowels. Ready? Let's go. Now. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let's go now. Come on. Uh-huh. Come on. Keep going. Come on, come on. Uh-huh. Hang in there. There you go. Now, doesn't that feel better? It should feel lighter, easier to get to your notes, all that good stuff. Keep up the good work, and I'll catch you in the next exercise. And how did you guys do? Wait, did you lock in? Wait. Yeah. All right, fantastic. That's what we want. Keep it light. It should be feeling really good, all right? Give yourself a night, try to say, wow, whoa, wow. If you're doing that, it should feel pretty clean, pretty comfortable. All right. So we're gonna jump right into issue 2. I know I started it and then I stopped it, but I'm gonna start again now that I've adjusted. Sorry about that, but we're gonna keep it moving because we still have plenty to do. Okay. And so this is where it gets stuck in the throat. All right. So again, this is issue 2. Issue 2 is when the voice feels stuck in the back of the throat. Okay. So it feels buried. So you've got it. It's light. It feels good, but it's not. You can feel like you're losing resonance. It feels like it's back here. Ready? Instead of right here. You hear the difference? You hear how the voice is in the front here, but usually it's back here. You hear the difference now, right? So it's not really like coming out the way you want. So if this is happening, you'll usually notice that the sound feels like covered or muffled, or you have trouble projecting without pushing. Okay, so you want to get that sound forward, but you have to push it to get it out there, right? Or it feels like the voice is sitting too far back. And sometimes singers describe this as the voice, oh, my voice sounds dark, it doesn't sound bright, or it sounds heavy even on easy notes. So most of the time, this has nothing to do with your range or power. It's usually about placement. Right? The sound isn't moving forward yet. And the tongue or the throat, ready, is getting in the way. So we're not going to force brightness and make it like weird like that. That doesn't help. And we're not going to sing louder. And instead, we're just going to help the sound come forward without tension. And once that happens, projection gets easier without effort. So instead of here, this is me like forcing it. Projection. Right? Now watch me when I move the sound forward. Projection. Hear the difference? You see how much easier that is? All right. So the first way we're going to do that, okay, we want the sound to move forward without pushing. So for that to happen, the mouth needs to stay relaxed. The throat needs to stay passive, and there needs to be resonance. And the space is and everything's going to come forward. So one of the things that helps a whole lot with that is actually humming. And humming helps because it naturally brings the sound forward without effort, right? It's very hard to hum in the back of your throat. You can't, if you try, you sound weird, right? But here's just an important thing. Hums also tend to do another thing, and I'm just going to be a little nerdy with you a little bit. But they also tend to let the larynx right here, right? It settles a bit on its own. Okay, so if you have the larynx, well, we all have a larynx, but a larynx is part of the voice box, and usually, especially in classical training, they teach you to lower the larynx so you get that. We're not going to really try to control or force the larynx down because we're singing in a more modern way, but when it releases naturally, it helps with like resonance, right? It makes the voice place easier. It gives a better sound all the way around. So we're going to use a hum to put the sound in the forward position, right? And then we're going to open into a vowel. And so when you open into that vowel, your job is to keep that vowel in the same position. So you want me or me, ma, mo, moo. We don't want me, right? We want me. Make sense? So if that sound drops back or when the vowel opens, that just means the placement didn't carry through. So I want you to pay attention to the vibration around the lips or in the face, all right? Easiness in the throat. You shouldn't feel anything in your throat when you're doing this. Me, all those things. And how little effort it takes to stay connected. Okay, it should feel clearer and easier. And if that's happening, you're doing it right. So this next exercise, it's called Midnight on the Floor. And it's a really fun one. I'm going to teach this one to you again, all right? And we're going to go like this. So everything starts with the All right. So we're going to go me. All right. Try that. Me. And then we're going to go me. Okay. And we're going to go ma. And then we're going to go moo. Moo. Right. So we're going to me. Me. Ma. Moo. Moo. And then we're going to go and do it again. Me. Me. Ma. Okay. And so together it goes me, me, ma, moo, moo, me, me, ma. And then we do it again. Me, me, ma, moo, moo, me, me, ma. So I posted it in the chat for a reference. And again, remember, it's not going to be perfect and it's totally okay. But now it's time for midnight on the plains. Give me one moment and you're going to give it a go. Okay, everyone. Oh, and you know what? It looks like I might have to open this up. We're having some technical difficulties today, y'all, but it's okay. For some reason, when I opened that one up, it didn't have the sound. But that's okay. We came with backups. Give me 2 seconds just in case, because who's got 2 thumbs and over-prepared just in case there were issues? This guy. So let's try it again. Let's make sure you can hear it. And all right, everyone, it's time for our next exercise. Keep those. Okay, let's back it up right here. All right, everyone, it's time for our next exercise.
We're good. Let's do it.
Keep those hums forward and those vowels in place. Ready? Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Feel it in here. And again. Good job, good job, good job. How did that feel? Was that cool? Excellent job, excellent job. So that was the first fix, okay? We had to get this into our, get this into out of the back and into the front of the mouth. But that's only one of the issues, okay? Now we're going to address the other common reason that the sound feels stuck, because even when the sound wants to move forward, okay, there's sometimes tension in the back of the tongue, and that can still interfere, especially when the vowels start opening. All right, so a lot of singers carry tension where the back of the tongue meets the throat, right? In here, right here. So you ever talk and you're like, and you feel it there? So when that area kind of stays tight, that sound feels blocked, the throat feels crowded, and singing takes more effort than it should. All right, so what we have this back here, to get nerdy again, it's our pharynx, or our pharyngeal space, and it's that area behind the tongue and above the larynx. And when that space is available, the sound opens up without extra effort. Make sense? So the way we're going to help open this up is with the NG sound. So the NG sound, everyone go like that. Right. The NG sound helps organize the back of the tongue and bring awareness to that space. So it sets things up so that the throat can open instead of tightening when the vowel comes in. All right. So we're going to do the exact same exercise, but instead of going we're going to go try that. Yeah, it's weird, right? Ngi, nge, nga, ngo, ngi, nga. Right? And so when you flip from the NG into the vowel, the back of the tongue is allowed to release and lower, right? So that's, you ever hear someone say, lower the back of the tongue, raise the soft palate? That's a really great way of getting to that, because that release creates space above the larynx and lets the sound open up instead of getting stuck. So you basically get more sound coming out your throat. That's what we want. So as you do this, I want you to notice if the throat feels more open on the vowel. Does the sound feel clearer? Does it feel easier to sing without pushing? And if yes, the coordination is doing its job. All right. So let's try the exact same exercise, but this time instead of going me, we're going to go ngi. Okay, let's do it. All right, everyone, it's time for our next exercise. Keep those hums forward and those vowels in place. Ready? Let's go. Uh-huh. Keep it going. Keep going. Keep it going there. Feel it. Breathe. Keep it going in. This is the last time. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. So it actually stopped right at the end of it, which is fine. Okay. So let's pause and check in for a moment. All right. So after those two exercises, the sound should feel a little different, not brighter or louder, but just maybe a little easier and clearer. So you want to check right now? Let's try like a comfortable phrase or note. Let's do it uh darling, darling, stand. Just try that. Darling, darling, stand by me. Does the sound come out a little more easily? Does it feel less stuck and less buried? Uh-huh. Does the projection feel a little more available without pushing? Stand by me. Oh, stand. All that fun stuff. All right. If yes, that tells us that the placement just organized itself. Okay, this is good. Now, you didn't add anything. You just removed what was getting in the way. Think about that. Okay. And that's what good fixing feels like. So now, just in case it feels off still, that just means that this is an area that you get to revisit. You're not like you push past it, but like if you were doing something and you felt like it wasn't fixed, then you come back and you fix it. All right. But for today, we're moving on. All right. We're going to go right into this next area. Okay. So let's talk about another. By the way, I have 5 issues. So we're on 3, So we're halfway through. So let's talk about another really common issue. And this is when the note feels weak or airy. So that means that the pitch might be right, but the sound feels thin, like it won't fully engage. So if this is happening, you'll usually notice like there's extra air leaking through the sound. So you are unintentionally sounding like Billie Eilish. So it could be something like, I can't make you love me. But when you sing it, you go, I can't make you love me. Right. And it feels like there's air leaking. Right. Or the note doesn't want to sustain. So you get to, you know, and and it feels like it's like about to break. Um, or the tone feels flat, even when you're trying, and we'll always love you. Right. Sometimes singers describe that as like not enough support. but that's not always the full picture. Now, if you are in VTC, if you've been with me, we already know. If you're in VEA, you already know that the big three are breath, placement, space, and support. And one of the big things is we need support, but that's not the full picture. Most of the time, this isn't like a range issue. It's usually about energy. Okay. Not like energy, but like actually physical energy. Like the breath and the core aren't activating together yet. So the sound never fully wakes up. And this doesn't mean you need to sing louder. Okay. It means that the note needs more engagement and not more force. So we're going to wake up the system so that the note can energize itself. And once that happens, the sound will feel stronger without you pushing. And so in order to do that, we're going to handle the first part of this by waking up the energy behind the sound. Okay. So when a note feels weak or airy, it's usually not because you're doing too little. It's because the body isn't engaging together yet. Because the body likes to be lazy unless you make it do things and you tell it, this is what we got to do. So for a note to energize, the breath has to be ready and the core has to respond and the sound has to turn on immediately. And if the core doesn't engage, the air just leaks through the sound. So this exercise uses short, rhythmic ha sounds. I want everyone to just go ha, 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 ha. Try it, right? I hope you're doing it, okay? Don't just be watching me. Make sure you're doing it. Ha, 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 ha. Okay? So those ha's trigger like a natural core response without you having to think about it. And that response gives the sound something to lean on. Now, this isn't about being loud. The goal here is clarity and not force. So as you do this, I want you to notice that the sound feels more present. Does the note feel easier to start? Does the air feel more controlled? Okay. If the sound suddenly feels like more alive, that's the energy showing up. And so the name of this exercise is aphrodisiac, but I didn't name it. This is actually a clip from a singer. Her name's Brandy. Those who know, you know. And there is a song called Aphrodisiac. And in it, there's a viral clip that's been going viral on TikTok. And it's about, and there's like this dance, and it's just like, it's a lot of fun. But anyway, it goes like this. It goes, ha, 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. All right, it's a lot of fun. And so even if you can't catch it all of it, what I want you to do is I want you to make sure it keeps clean. Ha 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 ha. I do not want. Ready? Ha 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 ha. You're not having a baby, okay? I want you ha 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 ha. So we're going to run this a few times. Make sure that we feel good about it, and then we're going to keep it moving. Let me give me a second. I'm going to open this up. And all right, everyone, it's time for our next exercise. I need you to keep those ha's steady. Do it on one breath. You can do it. Ready? One breath. Let's go. Breathe. Breathe. Now breathe. Breathe. Keep it going. Keep it going there. It's easy. You got it. Keep going. We're almost done. Last one, last one. Great job, everyone. That note should be feeling super energized by now. I'll catch you in the next exercise. Nice, nice. Isn't that great? Ha, 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 ha. It's fun. Lots fun. I'm a 90s kid, y'all. Like, it's Bridget. Andy. All right. So, but that's it. So it's waking up, right? You feel your core. You feel your core awake. Is it alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic? Okay. Fantastic. So that's part one. So now, okay, we're going to handle the second part of this issue because it's good that it's awake. So we got the ha ha ha. It's working. But if you're not actually getting that note to sustain, well, it's still not helping. The, we need to keep the note consistent once it starts. A lot of singers can get a note going, but they can't keep it going. All right. And that, for a note to stay strong, the breath has to stay steady. All right. You have to regulate that thing. The body has to regulate air, not dump it. So you can't go, and I, you're done. All right. You have to, and I, like it's got to connect. And the sound has to stay supported from start to finish. All right. So if the breath isn't managed, the note will fade or fall apart. Make sense? So this is, not about what I just want to say here. Like, it's not about holding your breath. Okay. Like, we are going to be doing a big exercise, but we're not just going to be holding the breath. We want to allow the breath to flow in a controlled, consistent way. So this exercise forces a longer phrase. Okay. So you don't get to reset halfway through. You have to manage the breath all the way to the end. And so that teaches your body how to pace the air instead of giving everything away at the start. And you know what? If you struggle with it, that's okay, because I want you to come back to it and make sure that you get it, because you need to make sure that you can keep your core and your breath regulated at the same time. So as you do this, I want you to notice if the note stays even. Does the sound weaken near the end? Or do you start feeling panic or like, do you feel like you're in control? Okay. And if it feels hard at first, that's normal, because that's your body learning regulation. So we're going to do another exercise called breathe deep. Now I'm going to just play the beginning of it so you get an idea about how it goes. And then we're going to sing this together. Time for our next exercise. 1 second here. We're going to work on that breath control. Take a deep breath. Do this all on one breath. Okay. So actually, I'm going to just sing it for you. So this is how it goes. Okay. It's going to go. I'm gonna do it again. Don't hang up. Don't log off. Okay, you're already in a VEA. Let's try it again. It goes. Yep, just like that. So we're going to get that full breath, and we're going to get it quickly. Okay, but you're going to fill up and then you're going to let it go. Make sense? Let's try it. Make sure you breathe. Time for our next exercise. We're going to work on that breath control. Take a deep breath. Do this all on one breath. You got this. Ready? Let's go. Deep breath. Keep it going up. Hello? You still there? Okay, good. Excellent job. I'll catch you in the next exercise. All right. For those of you who are in here, I just need can y'all send me some proof of life? Okay? Put something in the chat. Give me some proof of life. So we How are you feeling? That was a big breath. I know. I know. We alive in here? Say something to me. So we And if you're watching the replay, make sure you say something. Write it down. It's like, I just want you to write, I survived. I survived. Breathe deep. Okay. Air is fun. Air is fun. So excellent job there. So, um, you know, after these two exercises, your voice should feel more reliable, not forced to louder. That it is, I see that's tough to get to the end. It is tough, but it's good that it's tough to get to the end, right? That's something that you get to practice over and over again, and it's going to get easier, I promise. But like I was saying, after those two exercises, your voice should feel more reliable, right? No, not forced, not louder, just steadier. And I want you to try a comfortable note or phrase, anything. Um, you know, um, wow, I can't think of any song on the planet right now. Uh, for o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? Does the sound feel more energized? Does it sustain more easily? Does the breath feel calmer instead of rushed? Okay, if yes, that means the energy and the breath are working together. Woo! Okay, if that sound is staying even, that's the regulation. It's showing up. So you didn't, if think about it, we didn't add volume, you didn't take more air, you just coordinated the system. All right. And just so you know, if it still feels inconsistent, that just tells us this is an area to revisit, not something to force. All right. And like I always say, for today, we are moving on. We are moving right along. Okay. To the next issue. Ooh, this is a big one. When the voice feels tight, when you hear pressured. Okay. And this often shows up after the last one starts to improve. So after you got your breath going and you've got it loose and all that things, the voice has more energy and the breath is staying steady. And the next thing we usually notice is pressure. Anybody know what I'm talking about? When you're trying to sing and you feel the pressure, the sound is stronger now, but it doesn't feel as free as it should. So if this is happening, you'll notice like the voice tightens as you go higher. And like pressure starts to build and the movement feels harder, like even though the sound is louder. So like the note has energy, but it doesn't feel flexible. You understand what I'm saying? So at this stage, the issue usually isn't breath or power anymore. It's how the voice is handling the transitions between your registers. Your registers, chest voice, mix, your head. Those are the main three: chest, mix, head. And instead of staying coordinated, the system starts to like brace itself. So if I tell you to sing, um, uh, what's it called? What's it called? Near, far, wherever you are. And you do that and you think of near, far, where, and you already start, that's you bracing yourself for a high note. All right. That is not something that you push through. More effort usually creates more pressure. In other words, and I'm going to change out that word effort for force. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on connection and release. We're going to help the voice move smoothly without tightening. Okay. Because once that coordination's there, the pressure has nothing to build on. Okay. Are you following me? So in order to do that, you're going to have some fun. This is going to be so. So we're going to deal with pressure at the source. And we're not going to do it by pushing through it, but we're going to reconnect the voice where it usually tightens. And this is where this exercise, soul fry, comes in. All right. Anybody ever do a fry? Right. So, well, for pressure to release, the voice has to stay connected. The folds have to coordinate cleanly, and the throat has to stop over helping. Okay. And if that connection isn't there, then the body compensates with force or with pressure. So vocal fry, it forces the vocal folds to stay connected at a low effort level. So there's no room to like push and there's no room to brace. And so what it does, it's really a cool cheat code because you can fry into these notes that are a little higher or a little that like to break. You can fry into them because it teaches the voice how to stay together without like recruiting extra tension. So again, the goal is not to stay and fry. You're not gonna no. It's a setup. So when you move from frying to a vowel, it keeps the same sense of connection without increasing the pressure. Right. So as you do this, this is how it sounds. It's gonna go. We're gonna go e a I o u because those are our vowels, but we're gonna go e a ah oh e. Hear that? E a ah oh. Okay, so as you do this, I want you to notice if the sound feels more connected. Right? Does the throat stay calmer? It should feel that. It should feel good because the fry is doing all the work in the connecting. And does the note feel easier even as it climbs? Because we are going to go higher. All right, so if that pressure drops, that's the coordination working. So let me go over this one more time with you. Together it goes E A ah oh E A ah oh. Ready? Let's do it. Time for another exercise. Use those fries to keep those chords closed and that vowel coordination clean. Ready? Let's do it. E, A, ah, oh. Come on. E, A, ah, oh. On up. E, A, ah, oh. E, A, ah, come on. Oh. Let's take it up. Come on. Take it up. Use that fry. Last one, come on. Amazing job. I know you must be feeling so much better. Are those notes connected? Is it feeling clean? Great job. Catch you in the next exercise. Sorry, I needed to finish that one because that one's a jam for me. Yeah, was that fun? Was that fun, Judy? How did you do on that one? You feel the fry. It should be feeling more and more open the more we do this. Okay. So that was the first fixing the first part of the issue. Here's part two. Okay. So now that we've reconnected the voice, the next step is teaching it how to move without tightening. Okay. So now pressure usually comes back when the voice doesn't trust transitions. All right. So transitions. When I say transitions, I can say something really fancy. I can say the passaggio, the movement between your different vocal registers. So for pressure to stay away, the voice has to move smoothly. Okay. And registers need to connect instead of fight each other. You don't want, all that stuff. They need to connect. And the vowels need to be able to travel together. So if transition isn't smooth, the body braces to protect itself. That's why that tightness happens. It's trying to it's a defense mechanism. So this exercise that we're about to do called peaceful transitions, it moves slowly through the range. So the voice can stay connected the entire time. So we're not going to jump or force. We're going to let that voice walk through the transitions from your chest to your mix to your head and all the way back down. Now, we're going to start with small mouth vowels first. So we're going to go ooh, ee, all right? And then we're going to move into wider vowels, a, ah, and o, because the goal is to keep the same ease no matter which vowel you're on. Small mouth vowels are easy to go up, high. They like to go high. Big mouth vowels, they don't have they're it's a little harder for them. Okay, but the small mouth vowels don't like it in the mix, while big mouth vowels are better in the mix, and then the chest. So we're going to move with both of them. We're going to start with the small mouth so that we can get into those different areas of the mix and the register and all that stuff. And if you want to build more into the mix, definitely take the hit that mix training. It's phenomenal. And then we're going to go into the wide mouth vowels, the as, ahs, and ohs. Okay. So as you do this, I want you to notice if the voice stays even when you move. All right. Does the pressure stay low? Does the transition feel smoother than before? And if yes, then that coordination is holding. So this is also a very beautiful exercise. I hope you love it. So I'm actually going to type in the vowels. One moment. Okay. So the exercise goes E U E A O. I'll do it again. Okay, isn't that beautiful? So we're going to try that. Again, it's called Peaceful Transition. All right. Now that I think about it, the name kind of sounds a little morbid, but I meant it in a really nice way. Like we're transitioning peacefully through our registers, and it's not gonna kill us this time. All right, here we go. So, all right, it's time for our next exercise. We're looking for smooth transitions through your registers to stay connected. Remember, you don't have to be loud. Just stay connected. Keep those vowels clear. Take your time and take it easy. Ready? You got this. Let's go. Beautiful. Let's take it up. Eh, ah, oh, and up. Eh, ah. Take it up and eh. Let's go on up. Nice and clean. Connected. Excellent job. How are you feeling? Is it connected? Is it getting smoother? I'm so proud of you. Keep working at it, and I'll catch you in the next exercise. Oh, it's such a beautiful exercise. Yay! Okay, so that should be feeling pretty good. We're just about done, guys. We only have like two, I only have like two more exercises for you. Um, so let's do a little check. All right. Your voice should feel really different, not necessarily stronger, louder, but definitely freer. Wah, 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 wah. Or, hey, just give me something. Just do something that you wouldn't normally do. Hey, yeah, just something fun, right? Or, whoa, okay. Your voice should feel pretty good without tightening. You should be able to move without tightening it. The transition should feel smoother, right? Does the pressure stay lower than before? All right. If that's the truth, then yeah, good. That means your coordination held while the voice moved. Now, if the pressure shows up again, that's just information. It just tells you that this is an area that you need to revisit and that's something you need to push through. Remember, the goal isn't power. The goal is movement without bracing. Okay. And it doesn't have to be loud when you do these particular exercises. It can be as long as it's connected. That's the most important part because strength comes with connection, and once the voice can trust that connection, the pressure has nothing to grab onto you. There's nothing for you. You're already connected. So we're going to keep it going. And if, again, you'll be able to come back to this as needed because we are getting to the final issue. Okay. So this last issue is about responsiveness. The voice works, but it doesn't respond quickly. Okay. And if this is happening, you'll notice that like fast phrases feel delayed, So I want to ring, I want to ring, want to really shiny tiny ring, and I'm in a finger, kind of thing like that. So quick changes feel clumsy. So, or the voice like feels heavy even on like easy notes. So you can sing, but the movement feels harder than it should. All right. And that's not just an articulation issue. This isn't, and it's not necessarily a strength issue. The voice is connected, right? You've done all the things, but the coordination hasn't been asked to move lightly yet. So everything feels very heavy when you're moving it, but everything is working. It's just not working quickly. So this doesn't have to do with your range or your volume or your power. It has to do with how quickly your system responds. So the fix here is simple. We give the voice, ready, light, quick movement without adding tension. So once that coordination wakes up, your agility comes back naturally. Okay? Is this making sense? So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do a bunch of wheeze. Okay. So we're going to fix that sluggish, heavy feeling by waking up responsiveness. And it's going to be a lot of speed, but not a lot of pressure. And for that to happen, the voice needs to respond quickly. So it has to stay light and the coordination has to stay small and the body can't overcommit. So if the voice gets heavy, it slows everything down. So that's why we're going to use we, like we're French, but we. Just give me that. Just go we, right? Because that we vowel keeps the sound very narrow and forward. All right. And it naturally limits weight, which makes quick movement easier. And so we're going to have a rhythm that gives the voice something to react to instead of something to muscle through. So your job here isn't to like sing better. Your job is to stay light and accurate as the notes move. Okay. And if it starts to feel heavy, you've gone past the point of usefulness. So all right, it's a lot of fun, but this is how it's gonna go. It's gonna go we 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 we. I know you were like, there's 38 we's in there. How are we gonna do it? It's okay. You're gonna catch it. I'm gonna do it again one more time. We. That's the first one actually. It's gonna make sense once you play the track. Now, as you do this, I want you to notice: does the voice react faster? Are the phrases starting to feel cleaner, like the quick ones? Does the movement feel easier than before? And if yes, then this responsiveness is coming. It's happening. So remember, we're going to get the light sound. We're going to do quick movement, and we're going to make sure there is no weight. Okay. This exercise is so much fun. It's called We in the Funk. Time for another exercise. Let's keep those we's light, clean, and agile. You ready? Let's go. I know that felt good. I know that your voice is more agile, more swift, and more accurate. Great job, and I'll catch you in the next. All right, we're going to keep it moving. I hope that was so much fun, because that was so much fun for me. Okay, that was our last issue, right? So after this exercise, your voice should feel quicker, right? Not louder or bigger, but just more responsive. Okay? So I want you to try, and anything, but is your voice reacting faster? Or did you notice when you're doing it? Is your voice reacting? Is it moving? Is it doing the things, It doesn't, all right, now, it doesn't mean you have to sing fast all the time, but like a song like, want to be starting something, got to be starting something. You said you want to be starting something. That should be able to come in clean without like a bunch of fighting or all that stuff, okay? And so it means that your voice is available when you ask it to move, all right? And we didn't even add strength. We just reduced the weight. And that's what agility really feels like, okay? So this is the ending. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay? This is where we're going to put it all together. And this one is fun and it's very honest. So, if the work we just did is in place, this should actually feel really, really good. Okay. So, this is something you should be able to do once the voice is warm and coordinated. Okay. This is the goal. And this phrase asks your voice to do a lot. Okay. You're going to have to start clean. You're going to have to stay supported. You're going to have to move between your registers. You're going to have to keep things light, and you're not going to be able to grab or press. So if something's missing, it'll show up right away. Okay. So if this locks in easily, that's your proof. Your warm up worked. Okay, this is going to be like your little tool that I'm putting in your belt, so you can like literally just sing this in the beginning of your warm, if anything, and just see what's busted, right? But if something feels off, you should be able to tell what it is, and more importantly, you should know exactly where to go to fix it because you're trained now, huh? And so that's the win today. Not that this is perfect every time, but that you're not guessing anymore. So this exercise is called doing the most. And you're going to sing it like music, not like an exercise. This is the last exercise we're doing. All right. And I'm going to sing it for you right now. Okay. Get ready. So it goes like this. Here's my warm up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusted, it's all right. I'll run it back and just adjust it. Ah, here's my warm up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusted, it's all right. I'll run it back and just adjust it. Ah! Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? I want you to let it move, let it stretch, and also let it tell you the truth. Okay? Here is doing the most. I need you to make sure whatever you're doing that you like get into this. I need you to sing it like you wrote this song. Okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, sing it like you wrote it course in the VEA, and let's do it. Okay, here's the test. Sing your song, and if it's not on point, I want you to feel it, fix it, and free it. Are you ready? Let's go. Here's my warm-up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusting, it's alright, I'll run it back and just adjust it. Ah, here's my warm-up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusting, it's alright, I'll run it back and just adjust it. Ah, here's my warm-up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusting, it's alright, I'll run it back and just adjust it. Ah, here's my warm-up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusting, it's alright, I'll run it back and just adjust it. Take it up, here's my warm-up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusting, it's alright, I'll run it back and just adjust it. Last time, here's my warm-up. I can do it every day and not mess up. And if my voice sounds busted and disgusting, it's alright, I'll run it back and just adjust it. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'll catch you in the next exercise. Woo! Woo! Wasn't that crazy? Did you have fun? Did you have fun? You did a little, the song's called Doing the Most, so I decided to do the most at the end of it. Okay. Here's my warm-up. I can do it every day. Sorry. That's going to be like stuck in your head. If none of these songs get stuck in your head, I hope that one gets stuck in your head. Okay? So, all right. Now, before we're completely done, let's just bring the voice back down. Okay? So we're not fixing anything. It's just telling your body, okay, you did a good job. We're done now. All right? And after all that singing we just did for the last like hour and change, we're going to warm down. All right? A lot of singers skip this part and they wonder why their voice feels tighter later or tired the next day. You know, you wouldn't finish a workout and just walk out, right? Your voice works the same way. So we're keeping this really simple. I just want you to do a gentle lip roll down and then a soft hum. So we're going to do like this. You're going to do this with me. We're going to go on. And you're going to go, Good. Now do that again. A little lower this time. Let's do two more. One more. Right? So no pushing, stretching, trying. We're just letting the sound fall and the breath slow down. It's easy. This should feel like exhaling. Okay? Good job, good job, good job. So I want you to actually notice how your voice feels right now compared to when we started. Feels good, don't it? Right? And that difference, that's the whole point of today. You didn't just do a bunch of exercises, you learned how to tell when something's off. And more importantly, you learned what to do about it. And that's the part most singers are missing. Okay? It's not effort or discipline all the time. A lot of times it's just clarity. And here's what I really want you to walk away with. You are absolutely allowed to run this whole set as a warm up if you want. You know, these exercises are fun, they work, and they're paced in a way that makes sense. Go crazy with them if you want. But the real win is when you don't need all 10. When you can say, oh, it's this today. Do two or three things and walk away solid. And that's not skipping steps, right? That's knowing your instrument. So I don't want you to chase perfection. I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to feel it, fix it, and free it. Okay? Because that's how grown singers warm up. I'm looking at some of the comments and they're saying that your voice feels lighter. That makes me so happy. If this has helped you, please make sure you write some comments, put it in the discussion. I would love to hear back from you. Welcome to everyone who came through, all of the guests who came to the VEA today. Everyone in the VEA, this replay will be available for you. And then this will, of course, be turning into a full-blown workshop a little later on in the week. Until then, make sure you warm up, make sure you have fun, and I will catch you later. All right?